This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, the Hazleton Police Department received a major donation today, a donation that will help to protect one of its own. Happy Back to the Future Day. I'm Ken Cara. Marty McFly should be getting here around 7:28 p.m., so have your hoverboards ready and go Cubs. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, watch Back to the Future 2 after FYI. Right now in the present, here's your headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. FYI was there as the city of Hazleton received a $1,000 donation to be used to purchase a bulletproof vest for the city's newest canine officer, Justice. The special fundraiser was coordinated by Hazleton firefighter Tony Colombo, who contacted the Mountain City Lions Club, Service Electric Cablevision, and the Hazleton Owls Club. The three organizations chipped in to make the much-needed donation that will allow the Hazleton Police Department to purchase a vest for Justice as soon as he is full-grown. The one-year-old black German Shepherd is currently in training and partnered with Hazleton Police Corporal Kirk Wetzel.
There are some things the city just cannot afford on its own, and this protective equipment for our canine, who are police officers, is one of those type of things. We're very gracious to the Mountain City Lions, who've presented us with the money. This is huge for us.
I think it's great. It's a great opportunity for the dog, for the city, that we were able to get the donations to protect the dog.
As Corporal Wetzel said, this is not a pet. A police canine is a cop. It's a working dog. And we send those canine into harm's way. When we send them in for a high-risk search because we know someone's in there that's armed, that's dangerous, and they won't come out, we have to protect our resources. We spend thousands of dollars to train these animals, thousands of dollars to train the handlers, and it costs us thousands of dollars to make the purchase.
What's your relationship like with him? I mean, you guys seem pretty close. You're the one we're trusting right now with it. How do you develop that relationship with the canine when you're on the job? What's your relationship going to be like with him?
It's just bonding. It's a long bonding process. You know, the first 2 weeks were a little questionable, which is typical. Then after that, it's just a lot of socialization with the dog, a lot of training with the dog, just to get him to trust me, and then I can trust him.
Justice, who you just saw, who's going to get the new vest, is going to replace Grizz. Grizz, after 8 years of service, is retiring, and he deserves to retire. 8 years in human lives is up there in the 56-year type of, he's worked for this police department 56 dog years. That's a long time, and it is hard work to be a patrol dog. These dogs are trained in bite work, and bite work is hard work for a canine. And because they're patrol dogs, they're meant to walk a beat, to be on patrol, to be released from the car, to chase down someone who's running, to go into a house or a structure, to hunt down someone who's hiding. They are aggressive patrol animals. That's exactly what they're used for.
Would you encourage others who might be watching this? People are talking about the Hazleton Police Department. We need more police. We need taxes, this or that. Can they maybe do something like this? Would you encourage them, hey, maybe do a fundraiser if you have a group, or give what you can?
Yes, I would encourage, people like Tony Colombo to go out there and secure funds. It's a great idea. The canines are naturally needed for the police department, and I would like to see something done that the number of police officers that we have on the force is increased. I know that money is a tough situation right now. I mean, the city doesn't have the funds right now to hire a lot of police officers, but I would like to see this done in the future. We really need them, and we could use them.
Chief DeAndrea says that Justice's training is being paid for by Luzerne County District Attorney's Office. In other news, Hazleton police are looking for a missing city woman. This is Debbie Mallour, who was last seen walking near East Elm Street in the city of Hazleton around noon on Tuesday. If you have any information, please contact the Hazleton police by dialing 911. A Hazel Township man is facing child pornography charges. 26-year-old Michael Furco of Hazel Township was charged by the Attorney General's office with 21 counts of child pornography and other charges. Furco was arraigned Friday by District Judge James Dixon. Agents from the State Attorney General's office were investigating Furco when they discovered a drug-making lab inside a Ridge Street home back in July. Furco was released on $50,000 on secured bail. Well, there was no school today for students at North Schuylkill Junior Senior High School thanks to a water leak. A pipe burst in a hallway ceiling on Tuesday, triggering yesterday's early dismissal and no classes for today. Students at North Schuylkill Elementary School did have class today. A district renovation and upgrade project got underway last school year. The area where the leak occurred had work done last winter. Well, up next on FYI, we'll tell you about an event that combines Legos and bingo, two of the best things on earth. And in sports, we'll check out Joe Maddon's post-game press conference after the Cubs lost Game 3 to the Mets in the NLCS. Plus, it's Dave Day.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Kids of all ages love Legos, and there is a wonderful opportunity to win Legos at Lego Bingo, which is being held on this Sunday, October 25th, at St. Michael's Church Hall in Shenandoah. Here to tell us how you can get involved in this fun event is Monsignor Myron Grabowski, pastor of the church, and also Kathy Pengrin, a church member, a member of the committee for this all. Kathy, this is a fun event. I'm going to start with you first of all. This is great. You're doing it for the second year, so obviously the first one was a success.
Yes. Well, the Legos are very popular. They just allow so much creativity for children and adults alike.
That's true. Kids of all ages, including adults. So how does this work on Sunday? What do people have to do to get involved?
Well, it will be held at St. Michael's Church Hall at 300 West Oak Street in Shenandoah. Tickets can be purchased at the door or in advance by calling 570-462-0809. And those holding advance tickets will be held in a special raffle for a Lego accessory kit.
Oh, that's nice.
But as I said, they can also be purchased at the door, and it would cover 20 games and 5 specials. The doors open at 12 noon. The first bingo game is at 1:30, but there is an early bird special at 1:15.
And if people are wondering, well, maybe I'll win something I don't want, they get to pick.
The winner will be able to pick from those kits available.
All right. Well, that sounds great. Now, Monsignor, this is a fun, wonderful event, but it's for a serious cause because you are doing some major renovations at St. Michael's Ukrainian Church in Shenandoah. So tell us how important this is to you.
It's very important in the sense that we have extended most of our funds, and we are trying to raise additional funds to do the full project that we wanted to do. We were able to redo the domes of the church, also the new roof, a new electrical system, but we still need a handicap restroom to make the church handicap accessible and fully comply with the laws that are necessary. So we have that, and then plus the repainting of the church and rugs and air conditioning. So any way that we can get help from the public, but in a sense enjoying themselves and helping us by playing Lego Bingo, that would be great.
Definitely a fun way to help out for a very wonderful cause. And Kathy, I know that they can get in another special drawing if they bring something with them.
Yes, to help our food pantry community outreach, anyone bringing a non-perishable food item or paper product will be entered into that raffle.
Wow. So you can win in more ways than one at this. So this is a fun event, the second year for Lego Bingo, taking place at St. Michael's Church Hall. That's 300 West Oak Street, Shenandoah. And for tickets and information, we have it all up on your screen, 462-0809. Please come out. You can come the day of the event. Again, the doors open at noon this Sunday. Come out, win some Legos, and help out St. Michael's Church.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
Fall is the easiest time of year to get weather shots. Just point, click, and boom, art. I guess there's beauty in every season, but talk to me in February after I scrape my car for the 765th time. Will there be scraping this week in our future? Here's our local forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 49. I think we'll be all right there. Thursday, a slight chance of showers after 10 a.m. Partly sunny day with a high of 68 degrees. On Thursday night, we'll get down to 40 degrees. There is a slight chance of showers. Friday will be sunny with a high near 49. I'm worried about Friday night. Mostly clear. Our low is 31 degrees. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 51. Not a bad day. Saturday night, 30% chance of showers. Mostly cloudy. Low of 43. Sunday will be 55. Will be in the mid-50s. Mostly cloudy skies. And then Sunday night, mostly cloudy with a low of 41 degrees. And now here's your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers here on FYI. Pick 2, 3, 4, pick 3, 882, pick 4, 0914, and pick 5, 90601. Lottery numbers on FYI brought to you by Boyer Insurance Agency with 2 locations to serve you, one on Sugarloaf Avenue in Cunningham, the other one is on Broad Street in Nescopec. Call Boyer Insurance in Cunningham at 570-788-3543 and in Nescopec at 570-752-7683. When we come back, Joe Madden, Dave Seaman, and more in sports, but right now, here's Law Talk.
Hello and welcome to Law Talk. Today we're going to talk about a very oftentimes tragic but very important subject involving motor vehicle accidents, and in particular victims of motor vehicle accidents who have been victimized by a drunk driver. And Alexis spent 7 years as a prosecutor in the Luzerne County DA's office. She's very familiar with that, and she can bring you all up to date on what needs to be done if that unfortunate event should happen to you or a family member.
As my father mentioned, I did work in the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office for some time. During my time there, I did, for 2 years, head up the Vehicular Homicide Division, and unfortunately in those cases, a lot of times the individuals who were victimized by drunk drivers. So I have a lot of experience on the criminal side as being an advocate for these individuals who were victimized by drunk drivers. Now, in civil practice, I'm able to be an advocate for victims who are involved in drunk driving accidents. And I'm very aware of the fact that not only are these people affected in their work life and their family life, their entire lives have changed from that moment forward. A lot of times there are significant injuries. They can be catastrophic, again, to the work life and to the family life. And I offer the availability to work with law enforcement officers who are doing investigations on behalf of people who were involved in these types of accidents. And it's important to respect the work that they're doing, that being because the investigations that they're conducting certainly can be beneficial to the civil portion of a claim. So if you're involved in a drunk driving accident, give us a call. I'd be happy to sit down with you and speak to you regarding the concerns that you might have, as I'm very aware of the effects that it will have on your life from that moment forward.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Here's what's on the menu for this Dave Day with Dave Seaman, the sports editor from the Standard Speaker. We'll start talking some NFL, then let's go to college, then how about some local football, and then we'll hit some local cross country. Didn't even run that by Dave. I mean, we knew the topics, but as long as that's okay with you. Let's start with the Eagles, Dave. Monday Night Football, back in first place in the NFC East. And what was better? I know you said at the office it was just on, so I don't know if you saw it, but the Eagles defense or the Star Wars trailer? Did you see any of it?
I didn't see any of the Star Wars trailer, but the Eagles, again, showed some signs. I think their defense has been pretty steady all year. After the first half of the game against the Falcons in the opener, the Eagles' defense has played pretty well. Even the game they lost against Dallas and the game they lost against Washington, it's more or less carried the team because the offense has been prone to mistakes. And right now, if they get that offense clicking to go with that defense, the Eagles might be in a position to make a run in the NFC East.
What I've noticed about the Eagles, Dave, it always seems that defense has been dominant, and Sam Bradford in the red zone, every time I seem to turn it on, it's a turnover there. So see if they could figure that out. Star Wars trailer, as a Star Trek fan, you might want to check it out. I was pretty impressed. Locally, Dave, the Hazleton area Cougars, as we were walking back here, you said 55 points they put up on Tunkhannock. That's impressive from the offense. Big night on the ground for two of the Cougar running backs. They have some challenges ahead with Wyoming Valley West, but definitely going in a nice direction.
Yeah, they've already tripled their win total from last year with 3 wins this year. The offense looks organized. We've used that word in the past too to describe how they're working. And the freshman quarterback Ryan Wolk has done a fantastic job. The defense has played well, and you get a spark from an Adrian Otero and a Carson Kinney, and the receivers Cabrera is doing a fine job. Joey Basic. Tight end Eddie Beelan, and the defense is playing well. So it's a nice mix for Coach Brennan. I'm sure he's happy with the progress, but as a coach, he's probably never totally satisfied until they get it consistency on a weekly basis.
Chris Fowler, I was just watching the Penn State football story, Dave, and this is going back, he was talking about before the Ohio State game, and he said, listen, programs need that signature win. You almost need that launching off point. Is it the same for Hazleton? I know Coughlin was a huge win, but if you steal one against Valley West or a Berwick, that could be something gigantic.
Definitely. That's something that they can use, and we're going to look back on the season. I think that Coughlin game has been a launching pad, so to speak, because Coughlin's only had 2 losses at this point, one in the Valley West. I forget who their other losses to, but Crestwood, they beat Crestwood at Crestwood. So the Crusaders have shown ability to play football this year, and the Cougars went up there and beat them opening night, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of the season. Not maybe a winning season, but compared to where they were, it's a giant leap forward.
And finally, Dave, as we get ready, it's cross-country league meets this week. And as I looked at the standings in the Schuylkill League, it is just jam-packed with local teams up there at the top. And you talk about a standout runner, Tina Caparella. I got to see her last year from Marion. Very impressive. You said the Wyoming Valley Conference meet on Tuesday. You'll have some coverage. We'll have some coverage as well right here on FYI. So exciting time for the runners, and they could really make an impact, win some championships.
Yeah, and the weather gets cooler. That's a good time for runners, too. They don't like running when it's 80 degrees out in September. They prefer it this time, and they're gearing up throughout the whole season for their league championships, and then next week the district championships, and for the best of them, the state meet in Hershey the following week. So it's an exciting time if you're a runner, and fans, and they're very loyal. I've always appreciated the runners because they do something I know I couldn't do, and to cover them, it's one of the greatest experiences to cover a runner going through the paces and being there for the league meet and the district meet and the state meet. So it's a great time for all involved.
It's a busy week, so Dave, we'll let you get going, and just make sure you make some time for the Star Wars trailer. All right, Dave, thanks for this week. We'll see you again next week. Nerd alert, Star Wars, Star Trek, and Back to the Future references today. I love it. Well, if you want to hear what Dave and I had to say about the state of college football in the state of Pennsylvania, head to FYI's Facebook page. Meanwhile, at the Wyoming Valley Conference boys cross country meet, Hazleton area took bronze at the meet. Matt Hauser was the top Cougar finisher, taking 4th place in 17 minutes and 12 seconds. At the girls' meet, the Lady Cougars took 5th place. Casey Burlow and Stephanie Yanachko placed 23rd and 24th in the race for the Big HA. Now at the District 2 AAA doubles tennis tournament, Lady Cougars Stephanie Mazurek and Lily Nowak are playing for a district championship. They beat Sandra Lionetti and Lauren Carroll from Abington Heights 7-5 and 6-0 straight sets. They will face the number 1 seeded team from Williamsport, Amanda Southard and Isabel Bauer, in the championship. And at the District 11 team championships, Bethlehem Catholic topped Tamaqua. Nativity pushed Marion to 4 sets in the Schuylkill League girls volleyball semifinals, but the Phillies won and will now face Blue Mountain on Thursday for the league championship. In the Wyoming Valley Conference, Delaware Valley beat MMI. And Kara Sanford now has the most goals in Lady Cougar field hockey history with 183. She scored 5 in Hazleton area's win over Pittston area to set the mark. The Mets are 1 win away from eliminating the Cubs in the playoffs. In the top of the 6th inning in Game 3 of the National League Championship Series, Yoenis Cespedes stole 3rd base for the Mets. With the game tied at 2, the Cubs were 1 strike from getting out of that inning, but a wild pitch brought in Cespedes, and he scored what would be the game-winning run. In the 7th inning, a drop ball on a tough play in left field and an error by the 3rd baseman would also cost the Cubs. Joe Maddon talked about those plays in his post-game press conference.
In general, they've played well. They've played really well. They've done little things well, and they've taken advantage of us in different moments. And we've not been able to overcome that because we're not hitting the ball like we normally can. So you see that, and again, at this time of the year, everything does magnify a bit.
In the last 2 games, the Cubs bullpen has pitched 7 1/3 innings, but Madden has no plans to use a starter like John Lester or Jake Arrieta out of the pen in Game 4. He explains his decision.
The bullpen, even though you saw a lot of guys play today, they're really not taxed going into tomorrow. The number of pitches thrown was relatively light, and they also had a day off previous. So even if we have to do that tomorrow, we've been pretty successful, actually, keeping the other team down. We just got to score more runs. I'm not concerned about that, honestly. We have to win 4 games, obviously, now. So it's not just about tomorrow. If we could, like I said, tomorrow win that game, get it back to John and Jake, that's pretty attractive at that point. So, and the other flip side of that is a lot of times pitchers don't do that well in 3 days rest. So why even take that risk right now when you know you got to win more than just one game? If it was 1 and done, you may do something like that, but it's got to be 4 and done.
It's win or go home on Wednesday at 8 p.m. on TBS for the Cubs. I'm done right now, but I will make a comeback after the social report. It's Wednesday, and here's some delicious alliteration. It's signature steak night at Bottlenecks. All of their signature steaks are only $9.95 plus bottomless soup and salad for only $2.95.
And here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, the Nuremberg Community Players will be presenting an American Idol on October 23rd, 24th, and 25th. The performance will be held at the former St. Joseph's Catholic Church, and tickets are only $10. For tickets or reservations, please call 570-788-4411. And one more quick announcement, the Rotary Club of Hazleton will be holding its annual spaghetti dinner Wednesday, October 28th at Genetti's Catering. Eat-in or takeout will be available from 4:30 to 7 p.m. Tickets are $8.50 for adults, $5 for children. For tickets or information, just call 570-501-3700. They also have tricky trays at the event, and all proceeds benefit the scholarship program. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. George M. Denke of drums. Mass is Friday at 10 a.m. in the Good Shepherd Church. Friends may call Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Joseph A. Moran Funeral Home. Paul F. Duffy of Hazleton. Funeral is Friday at 9:45 a.m. from the Boyle Funeral Home. Friends may call Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Friday from 9 to 9:45 a.m. Charles R. Zaremba of Sugarloaf Township. Memorial is October 31st at 10 a.m. in the Good Shepherd Roman Catholic Church. The Harmon Funeral Home is assisting the family with the arrangements. Mary M. Cermak, formerly of Hazleton. Arrangements will be announced by the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Robert B. Wenner of Hazel Township. The Rosenstock Funeral Home will announce complete arrangements. And Ronald A. Rajevich, formerly of Whitehaven. Memorial is Thursday at 11 a.m. from the Lehman Family Funeral Service. Friends may call from 10 to 11 a.m. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Roseanne Gabos of Beaver Meadows. Roseanne, if you're watching, give us a call, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Confession time. I never watched the full movie Back to the Future 2, so I'll have to go home and do that right now. Only watch the first 20 or 30 minutes. Also watch the Cubbies tonight. We'll see what happens there. We'll have more from Joe Madden, win or lose, tomorrow right here on FYI. Enjoy your evening. We'll see you then. Take it easy, everyone.
Atlantic Coal, modern mining method at work. To learn more about modern mining in a safe environment, go to AtlanticCoal.com.